guy fighting off that gang earlier, that's Dong-chul. Right now, he's fighting tooth and nail to save his wife, who's been kidnapped by a human trafficking ring. But how did it all start, and how did things get this bad? Let's start from the beginning. The movie kicks off at a fresh fish market, introducing two guys named Dong-chul and Choon-sik, who work as fish suppliers. They're busy delivering orders to the market vendors. And suddenly there's a commotion in the market because a group of trade union reps is roughing up a vendor who hasn't paid his maintenance fees. Choon-sik then grumbles to Dong-chul because the union hasn't paid their wages either. Suddenly, Dong-chul gets a phone call and quickly leaves to meet someone. It turns out to be Chairman Park and the shipowner, who offer an investment in king crabs. After seeing the crabs, Dong-chul and Choon-sik are interested in investing.
아, 예. 갈까? 이건 집에 가가 쪄도 있어.
아유, 감사합니다.
Meanwhile, in an apartment, a gang that also runs a loan shark business breaks in and tortures an old man over his debt.
하나, 둘, 셋! 생명 줄게.
After that, Ki-tae, the gang leader, takes the old man's daughter as collateral. Elsewhere, Dong-chul's wife, Ji-soo, is working hard at a nursing home and a restaurant to make extra money. On their way home, Ji-soo, who is eating in the car, warns her husband about the investment because they've been scammed before. Suddenly, the gang's car crashes into Dong-chul's car. Dong-chul gets out to report the accident, but the driver offers money to settle it. Ji-soo gets angry, and Ki-tae comes out to apologize after noticing Ji-soo's beauty.
선생님, 잠시만요. 뭐 때요? 깝깝하네. 받으라고.
하시는 거예요? 에? 저기요, 내려보세요. 받아보시라고요.
죄송합니다. 정말 죄송합니다. 예.
The next day, Dong-chul goes to the union office to ask for his wages, but Chairman Kim reluctantly gives him only a small amount. Later, while eating together, Choon-sik vents to Dong-chul about their financial situation and the king crab investment. Dong-chul then gets a call from Chairman Park saying their king crab boat has been detained by Chinese authorities. Meanwhile, Ji-soo is discussing their apartment lease issues with a lawyer, who suggests they get a divorce to keep the apartment. But Dong-chul rejects the idea when Ji-soo tells him. Dong-chul then reveals to his wife that he invested $100 million in the king crabs.
뭐? 이러?
Upset, Ji-soo storms out, leaving Dong-chul, who is preparing a birthday cake for her. At home, Ji-soo feels guilty and texts Dong-chul to come home. On his way, Dong-chul sees someone moving items, which turns out to be a setup by Ki-tae to delay him. Meanwhile, Ki-tae's gang breaks into Ji-soo's apartment and kidnaps her. The next day, Dong-chul reports to the police and watches the CCTV footage of the incident. Ki-tae finds out and threatens to kill Ji-soo if Dong-chul goes to the police again. They arrange to meet at a restaurant. At the restaurant, Dong-chul doesn't find Ki-tae, but finds money in exchange for his wife. Dong-chul takes the money to the police, who suspect it's a human trafficking case. The next day, Dong-chul returns to the police station for an update, but is dissatisfied with their response. Deciding to investigate on his own, Dong-chul asks the union for the rest of his wages. After a fight, Chairman Kong-jun finally gives him the money.
내 돈 좀 주세요, 빨리.
내가 돈 준다고 그랬잖아.
내보내.
Dong-chul and Choon-sik then meet a private detective named Byun. Byun suspects it's a human trafficking case. Dong-chul finally hires Byun because he thinks Byun is an expert. Byun starts investigating the previous CCTV footage and finds the name Jang Mun-sik. They visit his house and learn that he sold his car's license plate number to a gambling boss. Dong-chul and Choon-sik go to the gambling den and fight the boss's men. After Dong-chul beats them up, the boss finally gives them the needed information. Dong-chul visits a nightclub whose address was on the card from the gambling boss, but the club has changed owners. Dong-chul sees a man named Lim-ru, who looks like the person who blocked his way to the apartment. Unfortunately, Lim-ru escapes when Dong-chul approaches him. Soon after, Dong-chul gets a call from the police saying they found a woman's body that looks like Ji-soo, but it turns out to be someone else, Lee Hyun-young, a woman who went missing 2 years ago. Byun finds out that Lee Hyun-young's husband, Choi Yoon-young, turned himself in after she was found, feeling guilty for selling his wife to Ki-tae's gang. Yoon-young gives them an investigative clip before committing suicide. Dong-chul visits the finance office from the business card in the clip, which matches the one given by the driver who hit his car. The man's name is Dong-seok. Dong-chul drags Dong-seok out and takes him to Detective Byun for interrogation. But Ki-tae watches it all through CCTV. Ki-tae then offers that if Dong-chul can bring back the money he gave at his headquarters, he will return his wife. After the call, Dong-chul wakes Dong-seok, who was just knocked out, and gets information from him. They plan to steal back Ki-tae's money from the police station. Byun and Choon-sik, disguised as prosecutors, enter the police station. Their plan initially goes wrong, but they succeed after Dong-chul blows up a police car as a distraction. Dong-chul informs Ki-tae that they got his money back and plans to meet. At the hideout, Ji-soo and her friend try to escape. Ji-soo gets away and asks a taxi to take her to the police station. On the way, Ji-soo has to get out and run to the police station due to traffic. Unfortunately, Ki-tae finds her. Meanwhile, Dong-chul fights Ki-tae's men at the hideout, while Byun and Choon-sik free the women captives. At the hideout, Dong-chul sees a bent window grill and assumes Ji-soo escaped. He rushes out to find her and crosses paths with Ki-tae's car, leading to a chase until Dong-chul's car flips over after colliding with Ki-tae's car. In a fit of rage because Dong-chul refuses to give up his family, Ki-tae grabs an axe and approaches Dong-chul's car. While Ki-tae is distracted, Dong-chul pulls him into the car and beats him repeatedly until he is thrown out. Ki-tae pretends to apologize and admits his wrongdoings but then tries to stab Dong-chul with a knife. However, Dong-chul blocks it and beats him to a pulp. Dong-chul then wakes his unconscious wife in Ki-tae's car. Shortly after, the police and an ambulance arrive, and the case is covered by the national media. At the same time, the media reports that their king crab boat, once detained, is now released by Chinese authorities. After all the tense events, Dong-chul and Ji-soo visit Choon-sik and Byun's king crab restaurant. They celebrate Ji-soo's birthday with a feast of king crab, and that's how the movie ends.